Let's see who's here. Guys, I'm sorry I didn't do a live feed on Friday. I didn't work out Saturday or Sunday. I just generally felt like I did work out Friday, but I definitely didn't so on the weekend. So someone's here. I see I got a thumbs up. There's two someone's here. What's up, Mark? So probably today, for those of you that are members, I will do the actual picking of whoever won the Edge Pro. So there's 12 members. I'm not going to bother doing like a comment kind of thing. Those guys are just going to basically, it's going to be transparent for them. I'm just going to do a video where I assign everybody a number and then I just pick random number. So that's going to happen and I get to ship out. Well, hello, Sean. I saw that there's a knife coming my direction, I believe, from you. Or no, your knife is here. I didn't get it sent. I'm sorry. I felt like shit. Friday, I woke up. I didn't feel great. Didn't do a live feed. I got my replacement stone in. I wasn't really happy with it. So Jamie loves knives. So at any rate, but I'll show it to you guys. Menace with a knife. Hang on a second. It's still here on the table. I had it ready. I have a box sitting next to it. I was going to pack it up. And like I said, I got up. I didn't feel good. I did my workout at about the same time that I normally would do the live feed. And then just for the rest of the day, I felt like shit all weekend. I didn't work out at all Saturday or Sunday. So, that is, the thing is now you're gonna have, you can see that there's a line on the back side because it is a chisel grind. I'm not gonna lie to you, this was a pain in the ass to sharpen. There is a spot here where I got up against the stone. That's why it's such a hard, this sticks out so far from the blade that when I'm sharpening, I nicked up against the stone. I do have to apologize. I nicked up against the stone. I got a little bit of black somewhere, like some black touch up I could throw on it if you want, but I'm not sure if it's gonna match the finish. But yeah, not gonna lie, it was not fun to sharpen. You wanna see it? Let's turn it around. Let's see if I can get a good look at the edge on it. Daggers are one of my least favorite things to sharpen because it's real hard. I'll try to dig it up. I'll find it. I have a little bit of black. I'm afraid that I don't know how well it's going to adhere to this, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, like, you're going to get that kind of wear just using it, but it's sharp, but it's like the angles that they used on this, as opposed to like having a convex on the back, it would have been so much better. If they had done this like, well, let's go get it, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. If you're gonna make a knife that has got a chisel grind on it, it should be curved on the inside. And I'm not gonna lie, some of the best ones that are done that way, the wife and kid are skating, so I don't have to be quiet. I can come in and I left my beer sign on. There we go. This, by far, Cold Steel, when they do a double edge, the Naniwa stones are good. They cut real slow. You gotta have some patience. I've got several Naniwa super stones that I've had. I don't like a blade that is shaped for a V grind that then has a chisel on it, because then you get a weird angle on the backside and it doesn't cut the same as something that was purposely made. As you can see, this is hollowed. So this gets terrifyingly sharp because you sharpen this down, sharpen it down, sharpen it down. You have to worry about the burr, and then you just lay this flat and do a couple strokes. And then you've got an incredibly good cutting. That is, like, not gonna lie to you, that is scary sharp. So This style is more along the lines of like when you see a Japanese chisel, like a not necessarily a chisel, but like a kiridashi. Most of the kiridashis are flat on one side and then hollowed on the other side, so that when you knock that burr off, you can just lay it flat and just do like one stroke or two on the knife just to knock the burr off. So I sharpened this to 1,000, and it's night. I mean, it is terrifying. Sounds like they did that to discourage sharpness on both sides. Good scissors, sushi knives, exactly. One side is rounded over, one side is cut down. One, it makes it easier for you to set that angle. Like if I lay this flat and just make a couple strokes, I've knocked the burr off. And then when you cut, it peels that material out of the way and it's fairly frictionless. Cold steel does do some things incredibly well. You can see how that's spooned out. You can see it right here too. So when I laid that on the stone, you can see it only touched just that specific area that I needed to take the material off. And you don't have to worry about setting an angle, and then sometimes you get the angle wrong and then you've got a burr on both sides and you're fighting that burr, trying to get that burr off. And a lot of times you just got to strop it. You don't have to worry about that with this. Comes out perfect. You need one stroke. The only problem with these is the material that Cold Steel makes their Secure-X sheaths out of. It is a fiberglass reinforced moldable, thermo-molded plastic. And when you get that, what happens is the fiberglass, when you pull that knife in and out of the sheath, you can't keep it sharp. I've had several Cold Steel knives that I liked that came with the Secure-X sheaths, the new ones, and you draw them out once and it's dull. And I'm like, yeah, it's a really resilient sheath material. That's great for a handle. It's almost like FRN, fiberglass reinforced nylon. You cut into that as you're drawing it out every time, and it's like cutting glass. It's like rubbing it up against a piece of glass or a piece of ceramic. It just fucking takes the edge right off of it. So yeah, kid is back on the ice. I'm gonna start putting up a GoFundMe again, because that now here we go where it starts getting expensive again. The action on this is actually pretty good. Sean, I did take this apart and clean it. So it got a little gritty, and over time that the oil and everything that I put in it is going to continue to make its way throughout all the working parts. I used a dry lubricant, so it's still kind of wet in there. I recommend Rem oil, or what's the other one? That's the PETF. I can't remember. True. Any rate, it's you want one of the dry film ones that evaporate. Rem oil is what most manufacturers recommend. Don't try to use in an auto. Don't try to use like nano oil or knife pivot lube. As much as I like Tough Glide, that's it. If you use regular oils in this, it's gonna gum up. Especially something like CLP. Do not use CLP in it. That's another thing. People keep, I use frog lube in my knives. It's like, you know how many knives have come in with frog lube on it, and I have to spend, like, I charge extra. Frog lube is a pain in the ass when it starts to gum up and gunk up, and it gets nasty. And if you use frog lube on your knives and you send them to me, expect there's going to be an extra charge. I don't know for sure, but like PB Blaster is actually a really good penetrating oil. It works really good as an engine degreaser. But usually those solvent-based things like that, they don't provide you lubrication for very long. I know a lot of people are, I use WD-40 on my knives. I'm like, that's great. You got lubrication for like a couple days, and then it evaporates off and there's nothing left. And then your knife is worse off than it was. It doesn't provide very much lubrication. It's really great for cleaning things. If I get knives in and they're fucking horrible, And I can do it because some knives like handle material, you don't want to leave it soaking like WD-40. But I'll spray a knife. I'll take a knife apart and put it in a tub and just spray the shit out of it with WD-40 because it's a solvent. It's predominantly a solvent. Most of your spray lubes like that, unless it's just a pressurized container like silicone or lithium, like a lithium soap suspension inside a liquid. Oh, I did not know that they make something like. I don't pay attention to that. I have three things that I use on knives. I have fluorinated grease for washer knives, which is what I recommend for all washer knives. I have knife pivot lube for bearings and things like that. And then for autos, I have rem oil. And for as little rem oil as you need, this is a lifetime fucking supply. This is a lifetime supply of rem oil. Unless you own like 100 OTF autos. For OTFs, for a regular auto, like an out the side auto, I use knife pivot lube because it's basically just like this. I got oil on my fingers. It's like this with a spring. So an out the side auto, I use knife pivot lube on it. It's the OTFs. It's always the OTFs that do not respond well to regular oils. It's because they're in the pocket and they're enclosed and they gather so much shit and gunk and nastiness and dust that it's really hard. Guys, there's 14 of us here and only 4 people have dropped a like. So yeah, the wife and kid, just a drop. Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't need to take it apart again. So I'll show you how I usually do it. I'm not actually gonna do it because I already lubed it. There's no sense putting more lube on top of a freshly lubed knife. But so after I got done sharpening it, it had a bunch of grit and stuff in it. So I took it apart, cleaned it out with a Q-tip because like it has sharpening grit from the stones. And so I put a couple drops of oil in there because I cleaned it out with some alcohol. And so I lubed the springs and the action and everything, and then it'll dry out. That shit stinks. Tough Glide, I'm saying dry lubes, the dry lubes are for these. I don't use it on anything else. So for future, like if it starts to feel a little gummy, I put a drop on each side of the blade and work the action a couple times. And then I'll take a drop, tiny drop, maybe even put it on a Q-tip and put it here and then work the action and then put a little bit, you can see there's a little bit left, like shiny. Damn it. See, there's a little bit of a shine to it because this, so I put a little bit of here, a little bit here. And that should be about all that you need on that, just for upkeep and maintenance lubrication. The only grit I'm hearing is this. And it sounded like that before because it rubs up against the G10. So yeah, just a drop on either side of the blade and then maybe a drop or two on a Q-tip and then rub it in here just to give it a little bit of lubrication there under the button. But my Microtech Ultratech, I've been carrying it a lot lately because I'm not going anywhere. I'm stuck here at the house. I've been carrying it because it's a nice little knife and it's one hand. It's really easy to operate one-handed. I can just open and close. So it's been getting carried a lot and I haven't had to lube it. Depends on the gun. Depends on the gun. So, like my Ultratech is right here on my bedstand. What's up, Steve? And I've been carrying this a lot. Now, I will say that this brute forces past any lubrication issues you have. This one is got much stronger springs than that Benchmade. It's the other thing I don't like about Benchmade autos. They have a tendency to misfire the second they get a little dry or a little dusty because the springs in them are weak. Well, that gives you a nice soft action. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this is rough. Some of my friends can't even operate this knife because their thumbs just aren't strong enough. But this can get pretty dirty and still function. The Benchmates have a tendency, these have a tendency to, oh, I carried it like twice and now I got a little bit of pocket lint in it and now it won't fire. It doesn't make it all the way out. And I almost put my finger on it to show you and I was like, that's stupid. My eyes hurt this morning. So yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed, videos are being done all in 4K now. The last couple, well, the members will see it. You guys will see a video tomorrow, I believe. No, I think it's the last one that I've changed my settings on everything so that I can edit and everything in 4K. A lot of the Microtechs are really stiff. Like you can hear this one. That's a really stiff spring, and no joke, even my hands, it leaves a mark on them, and I have pretty callous, pretty hard hands. So they are, but the fact is, that's why they have less of a chance of failure than some of the other out the front knives. Microtech out the fronts, like for a few years, they were iffy. Like they had some quality control issues. But starting about 2014, they really started to step up their game. I got the other two that I had in 2014 and I sold them because I never liked them. And then I kept this one because my daughter liked it. And I've grown to where I love this knife. I really, really love this knife. And it actually is pretty useful. I have used it a lot for stuff here around the house, for work stuff. Because like I said, I don't have to reposition my hand to use it like I would. Like, it's just easier. For some stuff around the house, just cutting random stuff, like when I put up the new canopy and I had to tie everything, tie the framework down, the old body, and then I put the new cover on it. This came in handy because I could, and then just use it. And it's fairly slim. So I can hold it like this and still be able to do things, versus this is big and bulky and I'd be afraid to drop this. Plus it's fun. So, what's everybody into today? Most places, you're gonna run into that. God, my shoulder hurts today. I'm trying to get ready. I was gonna work out before this because, well, the wife and kid had to leave at 5, which meant they got up at 4:30, which means that, well, I got up at 4:30 because they're the two loudest people moving around this house. Like, it sounds like, I just bought a Chris Reeves Sebenza. Did you get the 45? Or the 31? The Sebenza 31? Hey guys, I got fucking mineral ice on my shoulder. Sharpening and mailing, no work. Oh. I took the day off because I wanted the... I love Heretic knives. In case you guys have not been able to tell from the videos at knife shows when I hang out at Tony Jr.'s table. I love Heretic knives, and it's not just a matter of loving Heretic knives. I like both him and, is it Dustin? Is it Dustin? I think Dustin is his name. The guy that works there with him. Oh, you got a Velos. Did you get that $200 Velos? I wish I'd seen that. I would have fucking coughed up the dough for that. That's the one Ferrum Forge that I really want that I don't have. But the fact is, I think I'm going to retract that, having thought about it over the last few months. I have the Ultramar Street, which is the same size as the Veloz. So I don't think I need a Veloz. I mean, they are very, very similar in shape and size to the Veloz. So I don't think I'll be. Oh, Luke sent you, okay. I know we have a group chat that we share stuff like that. What's up, Jack? Jack works at Recon One Knives now. Jack, you should start stocking my fixed blade that's coming out. I'm pretty sure you can talk to Artisan about it. So, Recon One where? Where is Recon One? I don't remember. I know that you're here in California, but where in California? I don't remember. Encino. Oh, okay. I'll say that's okay. I need to make a trip up there. Jack is obviously never going to make a trip down here. I've tried to get him to come down here, and he just doesn't ever want to come. And says he's going to make it, and he doesn't. Says he's going to be a member. Can't figure out why his card. Jack is the only person I've seen that has such an issue. Like, he wants to be a member, a paying member of the channel, but every time, like, it gives him an error. Maybe you should just do it on somebody else's computer. Maybe that's it. I'm trying to see what the weather's supposed to be like today. Guys, it's only supposed to be like 70 degrees today. That's going to be great. I love this weather. It's been cool at night, not real warm during the day. It's good. It's good beard having weather. Like when it's real hot, there's a lot of times I'm like, man, I'm gonna take this thing off. I got a notification, so yeah, it should be here today, and I got your PayPal. I did. I was gonna text you and let you know I got it. So if it shows up today, well, I don't know what to tell you. Like, go and check your settings. Make sure you've got notifications set up. Make sure your phone's not on Do Not Disturb, all that crap. Because there is nothing like YouTube. I actually talked to someone from Google about it. And they're like, no. She's like, look at your... She walked me through it. I got an actual call. And they were like, no, look at your numbers. And that's when I found that thing, which is the percentage of people that have... Yes, they want notifications, but they turn off YouTube notifications, that whole thing. I did a whole video about it. She's like, that's your problem. If people aren't getting notifications at this point, it's something that's wrong with their setup. And I was like, okay, if you say so. I told her, I was like, I got a lot of people that say they've done all those steps that we just talked about, but they're still not getting notifications. Huh. Hang on. I'm gonna open this door, let some air in. Oh. I'm glad the kid got to get, that kid's been stuck here, has not gotten to skate for 3 months now. His first time she's been on the ice in 3 months was 2 days ago. Yes. Nice. Yeah, the 2 days ago, so she didn't skate yesterday, she skated the day before. So they went all the way to Carlsbad. It's an hour drive. It's the only rink where we could get ice time. Later, Jack. And so first day back on the ice, she still got her double axel. And I was like, oh, that's pretty good. She's like, no, it's horrible. Everything was horrible. I was like, well, you haven't skated in like 3 months. So I'm like, at least any injuries you had are probably well healed by now. How are there 20 people here but only 9 likes? I don't get that. It just boggles me. morning. Oh, that's what you mean. That's what you mean. I see, said the blind man to his wife who could not hear. I don't want to drink too much coffee. It'll give me heartburn while I'm trying to work out here in a little bit. If I even can. Like, my shoulder really hurts today. Like, I don't know. Oh, yeah, that's like, oh, right here. Right there. Right there on the joint. It's just painful. Today is chest, shoulders, and triceps, which is why I'm debating whether I'm actually going to work out today. Today's push. Tomorrow is intense, high intensity interval training, and then Wednesday is pull, which is biceps and back. And then Thursday is light cardio, and then Friday is legs and back. I do back twice a week. Basically, the high interval cardio is plyometrics, a lot of jumping, a lot of jump squats and stuff like that. So basically, you could say I'm doing legs twice a week, back twice a week. But when you're doing back, you're also doing biceps. So that means I'm doing biceps basically twice a week. Biceps and legs. And then next week, I switch my workouts again, and I will basically be doing triceps twice a week because there's a chest and back, and then a shoulder by tri. So, it's the P90X program. I'm pretty much following the P90X schedule. I usually have one day off. I'm not gonna lie, Thursday I didn't do anything. I just took the dog for a long walk and shit. Usually that's my cardio day. But I haven't felt great all week. So it's been a weird week. Taking things back to the bedroom. It's been a weird week. My wife was complaining that there's knives all over the place again. She's like, okay. She's like, I don't have time like I did before. She's like, you can't leave knives lay on every horizontal surface in the house. I'm like, oh. But I like doing that. I like that. If you guys haven't seen it yet, this is that Norseman knockoff, and I'm going to be destroying that. I'll give you a heads up. I've got a couple things here that I'm going to be giving away, like three things. I'll give you a preview. I decided to do the 3-item giveaway, which I still have to ship off to Will Horn, Mr. Hornbuckle. He sent me his address, and I just have not done any shipping. But I still am, for you guys, the non-paying members, I'm still going to give away this 511. I have a new knife that came in from one of the members. I'm going to probably do a review of this. It's a front flipper, but it also has a thumb flipper tabs, but it's really thick. After I do a review of this, I'm going to be giving this away. And then there's a good chance you guys are going to get the heavily modified swordfish. So the paying members are included in this. They have their own giveaways that I'm doing for them separate occasionally. So probably going to give away this swordfish, modified swordfish, if you guys want. I didn't do anything to the overall. This didn't change. The only thing I did was took the back swedge out. The back flat. That's all I did. Which is self-serving, because now if you want this sharpened, you can't use a fixture. You have to send it to me. There's no flat for any of the fixtures. That actually came out kind of cool. I'm kind of happy with how that came out. So yeah, those 3 things are going to be given away to you guys, and then I have a couple of other knives that I'm giving away to the paying members, higher dollar stuff. And guys, I'm going to announce it right now. I have not gotten the prototypes yet, but my knife is going to be in a proprietary steel that Artisan has started using. I think my knife might be the first knife they made in it. They're going to make some other knives. They announced them that they're going to be in it, but I think mine is probably going to be the first one off the line made in that steel because prototypes are coming. And that's that RPM 9. And I looked at it real close, and it does have a really close analog to it. I mean, it's still different. It's proprietary. It's definitely different than the steel I'm talking about, but it's a powdered metallurgy, and it's going to be really corrosion resistant. If looking at chromium and looking at the chromium content and the carbon content, I'm thinking that it's going to do pretty well. I know what steel it reminds me of. I was talking with their US rep, and we were talking about different steels. I know what it is, and I used to like it. It's a steel that got used years ago when you could buy a Spyderco and count that it might be a reliable, decent knife. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I want to get the prototypes and hey, it's Kenneth, Ken, right? Kenny, I think. Yes, that's who it is. So, yeah, and it's been a weird weekend. I still don't feel great. My shoulders hurt. Debating whether I'm gonna work out. I don't know. What are you guys all doing today besides working? I imagine most of you guys are back at work now. That must be great. I'm going nuts. I told one of the guys I work with, he goes, dude, you ever coming back to work? And I was like, man, I gotta follow the doctor's rules. So he's now worried because we had all the protests and shit like that. He's like, now all those people have now exposed themselves again, and they're not the downturn is now turning into an upturn. And I was like, fuck. So he's like, plan on being home until at least August 1st. See, for you, yeah, I can imagine. I have a lot of friends that working from home is so much better for them. My buddy Polly, like, he's like, there's nothing that I can't do at home. He goes, if anything, he's like, I work better. They're seeing an increase in production at his company from people that are working at home. And I would equate that to, there's a lot of people that by the time they even get to work, they're tired, they've dealt with traffic. He lives in the Chicago area. August is pretty rough for what? Doing construction outside? Yeah, I know. But yeah, so he was saying that, because of the fact that he and I both agreed, a lot of the loss of production that they're seeing an uptick in it could be because by the time people get to work, if you live in Chicago, if you've ever been to Chicago, you know what I'm talking about. Driving to work, it can take forever. Like for me, my job site had to be at work at 6:30, right? The job site was up in La Jolla area at 6:30. And I would leave the house at 5:30 to get there at 6:30. It's like 14 fucking miles. But it would sometimes take me almost an hour to get. I would have enough time to just throw on my hard hat and my vest and go to the spot where we meet up. Like if you work in an office setting, by the time you even get to work, if you've been in traffic for an hour, you're already burned out. You're tired. You burned out your focus because you had to drive in traffic and pay attention to 500,000 other assholes that are trying to kill you. So there's times, I'm not gonna lie, there were times we would leave the job site because we were working overtime. Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. But there was times where we were working overtime, get there at 6:30, leave at 4:30, working a 10-hour day. And you would get off work and hit traffic. And so I wouldn't even get home. There was a lot of times I didn't even get home till 6 p.m., like 12 hours I was away from the house. So you got to figure, if you don't have to deal with that, all that focus and energy that you spent driving like an hour and a half to work, and you're already tired by the time you get there, that's devoted directly to your job. So if you work online, if everything you do is like administrative and you work online, then it's probably perfect. My buddy is one of the chief purchasers for Granger up there in Chicago. That's where their big headquarters is, up there in North Chicago. He's probably up near the Lakehurst area. Back where there was a lake. You remember where the Lakehurst Mall was, Neves? He's up in that area. Just outside of the recruit training center up there, the boot camp. So I don't know where his actual office was, but he was like, dude, it's so much better not having to deal with fucking traffic. And he's like, I don't even have to put on pants. Yeah, the action on these. I played with that. I mean, you can hear it. Ready? I should do a slow-mo comparison and put it up. Like, listen to hear how much softer that sounds versus that aggressive. You can kind of see it's even slow. I mean, it's visibly different how much faster that knife deploys than that knife does. It's aggressive. It's aggressive. God, I hate the smell of that shit. I need to get some other analgesic cream on my skin because I hate the smell of that shit. Alex! I was getting ready to get off of here before too long. About another 15 minutes or so. So, Luke, what's happening? Nothing, man. Nothing. I feel a lot better than I did on Friday. But I wasn't like sick. I just didn't feel good. So Friday I woke up and I was like, I could do a live feed. And I was like, you know what? No, let me just get my workout done and out of the way and just be done with it. And then got done working out and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing a live feed. I did, however, do both my plyometrics workout and my leg workout wearing a weighted vest. So my buddy runs a gym. He thinks I might be overtraining. He's like, yeah, he's like, that's what I should do this week. He's like, take a rest week, a recovery week. He's like, have you taken a recovery time? I might do that this week and just do light cardio. Yes, and then I puked. It was the plyometrics. Plyometrics made me puke. I definitely did throw up. That's how you know you worked out hard. Like when you get nauseous and you got to grab a trash can and throw up, that's when you know you burned some calories. Like, I'm going to get sick. I threw up. You're one of those CrossFit guys. I know what I didn't do this morning. I know what I forgot. I 100% know what I forgot to do. No, it's so tangled. There we go. That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Not gonna lie, guys. These are a godsend when it's hot in this house. Because we have the big vaulted ceiling. Those two ceiling fans, man, you can put... If the dog's been... That's not my daughter's brush. That's my brush. That's in my bathroom. That's in my bathroom. My daughter's bathroom's upstairs. I have a beard brush. I have a beard brush. Problem is, this stuff is so dense. Can you see how curly and shit is? It's actually about 2 inches longer than what you see. It's so curly. Beard brush won't get through it. All it does is touch the surface. Does not get through. I have to use like an actual hairbrush because it is so curly and kinky and all that shit that it just, a regular beard brush does not do it. That is one of those ouchless remove tangle brushes. Now my daughter's is upstairs in her bathroom. That's my bathroom. It's my brush. And we know what I'm using it for because it sure as fuck isn't up here. That's her old brush. That's the one that she, like the little rubber beads, the little rubber spots on the ends. Those started coming off. And so she's like, oh, they were gonna throw it away. And I was like, don't throw it away. I use that for my beard. And then my wife was like, why don't you just cut your beard? I was like, because the last time I shaved my beard, you said you hated it. She's like, grow your beard back. I was like, make up your fucking mind. You don't look right without your beard. Okay, I grew my beard back. She's like, yeah, I hate your beard. I'm like, well, then you just don't like me. It's the general gist of what I'm getting, because you didn't like me with the beard, and I shaved it, and you didn't like me without the beard, so I grew it back. And then now you're saying you don't like me with the beard. So that general, the common denominator here is me. It's not the beard, it's what it's attached to. Shave your head off. I did cut my own hair, and it didn't come out. Yeah, I use beard oil. I use beard oil and beard cream. I oiled it this morning. It's just that it's, like I said, it is so bushy, and it grows in like 8 different directions. So I trim it to here, and then it grows in like 8 different directions. And so when I shave, I'm one of those guys that has to do, this is why I use a straight razor now, or a safety razor, because I have to do multiple passes in multiple directions, because my beard grows crazy weird. Like it grows one direction here, and then one direction here, and then down here it grows. So I have to do with the grain this way, which is against the grain. I have to do down, up, and across, back and forth to get all of it, or I still have stubble, because God, man, shaving in the Navy sucked. Because there were times I had to shave twice a day before I got the autoimmune disorder. They put me on those. My beard doesn't grow near as fast as it used to, or near as full. They put me on chemotherapy drugs for my autoimmune, to drop my immune system down, to get it leveled, so that we could start a treatment program that kept me more even. And my eyebrows all fell out. You can see my eyebrows are real thin still. My hair all kind of fell out. All my chest hair and body hair went away. It's really super fine and thin now. As a matter of fact, on my legs, I don't have much hair. It grew back, but it grew back so thin that it just breaks off. So I don't have much body hair anymore. And so it used to be a lot hairier. But now my beard grows so much slower than it used to. I never figured my beard would ever grow back. It did. Nothing ever happened to mustache, though. You can't fight this mustache. I don't know if you guys ever saw a picture of me when I just had the mustache. Big, bushy Sam Elliott mustache. There is no doubt that I can grow one hell of a mustache. The beard just kind of just fell out. And when it grew back, it just didn't grow back near as fast or as thick. I can honestly shave. If I was working at a place where I had to stay fairly clean shaven, I could probably get away with shaving maybe once every couple days, 3 days. Because it just doesn't grow back real fast anymore. Fucking drugs screwed up my fucking hair growth. And it changed colors too. It used to be really, really, really red. Now it's a darker brown. There's a lot of gray in it too. Same with my hair. My hair used to be a lot lighter, and it grew back. When it all grew back, it grew back dark. It was weird. Kind of curious as to what kind of damage those chemicals that they were pumping into me for that period of time. I was so sick too. Taking chemotherapy drugs makes you sick. Well, David, you're Japanese. My father-in-law wants to grow a beard, but he shaves like every day. Like, because if he doesn't, he's got like a little patch of hair here, and then one spot on his chin, and then over here, and now it's really gray, so it's really obvious. My buddy Clint, I was talking to him on he FaceTimed me the other night and dropped a bombshell on me. He goes, "Hey, I'm going to be a papa." And if you guys have seen the videos of me and Clint together, you know that's I was immediately going, "Oh fuck." So he's got a little bit of hair here, a little bit of hair here. He's got like a straight line of hair that connects to his mustache right here, then bald, and then a little bit of hair down here. I was like, "Do you trim that like that?" He goes, "No, man, that's how it grows." I was like, "You are that white trash that you, I mean, he's Joe Dirt. He has the same beard that Joe Dirt has." I was like, "You Joe Dirt, hey." So I have stuff I'm gonna pack up. Will Horn, if you happen to be watching this, I'm gonna I mean, actually, let me just go grab everything that has to go back. I do use beard balm. We've talked about this. I have a beard oil and a beard balm. I have this beard balm and this beard oil. And like I said, I do have a beard brush, but it's all it does is just hit the surface. It doesn't do anything about tangles and shit like that. This does. And so, problem solved. And there's gray right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Way more gray here than here. I do believe I have a scar here. I have a scar right here that doesn't show up real well, but I got hit in the face. I got hit in the face with, I want to say, like, I can't remember, it was a 50 cal machine gun? No, 50 cal machine gun is what knocked this tooth out. 240 barrel. I got hit in the face with a 240 barrel, 240 machine gun. It hit me right in this area. And I had a little scar and it kind of went away, but that's where that was, is all right here. And now when I grow my beard out, it's gray. So I have a couple here, I have a lot here, and I got a couple on my mustache. The one that's disturbing is when you find gray nose hair, because then you know you're getting old. You're like, holy shit, I got gray nose hair? And you can see them because they always grow long. Gray hairs always seem to grow longer than everything else. I have a really long one here. Yeah, I hit in the face with a 240 barrel. It was an accident. We were moving shit around and I turned, shipboard armories. The weapon storage room on a ship is usually, like, no joke, this wide. So like from the edge of my counter here to probably where the microwave is. So we're looking at maybe to the back wall. Maybe 8 feet at its widest on some of these. When you take into consideration the magazine or the weapons lockers, the big safes that all the weapons are in. So when there's like 4 or 5 of you down there, you move stuff around. With the okay. I'll figure something out. I might put blue electrical tape on the scales or something while I'm sharpening. But at any rate, so we had just come back. We had just come back from the Mount Fuji area. I'm sorry. Yeah, have fun till it needs sharpened. Because that costs extra. If you want me to sharpen it, there's a chance I may not do it. Or I'm gonna have to charge. Later, David. And so anyway, we had come back from Camp Fuji, which is at the foot of Mount Fuji there in Japan. We had done, I got a machine, it's an army base. So we did a machine gun range out there. and brought the guns back. We cleaned them and everything, but we brought them back. We put them on the ship. It was the only place where we could actually qualify the guys on the proper course of fire for the machine guns. And I was a machine gun instructor. And so we went out there, and the dude fucking, we were putting the guns back, and one of the guys turned because somebody had said something, and I turned, and he caught me in the face with the forward sight post that's on the barrel, and hit me. And it wasn't a bad cut. It was just, it left a little scar, and then the scar went away. I don't scar badly. I've got, if you find me on Facebook, you can find pictures. There's a scar right there where my eyebrow got split wide open. I got a fight, got my face kicked into the pavement. You can kind of see the scar that runs all the way up through here, a little bit on film, but if you're like face to face, you can't see it. It's like the camera picks up the dark spot. But it went like that. It's big hooked. You can see it. There it is. Got my face busted open. So I don't scar real badly. So the scar kind of pretty much went away, but then it grew back gray. So there we go. That took an awful long time just to get out that short little story about getting hit in the face with a 240 machine gun barrel. I love this thing. I love the little Ultratech. That's gotta get it. Now that I'm playing with it. Let me put some of the stuff away or my wife's gonna start complaining again. The giveaway stuff can stay though. I'll go get the other one. I got a tooth knocked out with a beer bottle one time. Had to have an emergency root canal with no Novocaine. Wow, I'm getting stuff from you and David. The UTX 85 is just a perfect size. Perfect size for a little out the front. The Ultratech, the full-size Ultratech, is that the... Jamie, is that the, what do you call it? The money clip one? I saw it. If that's the money clip one, yeah, I saw it at a knife show. I'm not that impressed. It's not something I would ever carry. I just don't like it. I am not a fan of it. I mean, it's okay. It's kind of a cool idea. I'm not a big fan of it. This is a perfect size. And this is not a knife. This is 100% a stick it in you knife. The only issue I have with this knife, this side gets dull, like dull. I think it rubs up against something inside. This side, razor sharp. This side, it just gets dull. You can actually just see that the edge is just like rolled over. And the only thing I ever have done with it, I don't think I've ever even cut anything except a package. Like, not even a package, like an envelope. I've cut open envelopes with it. I just have it because it's fun. I put it in my pocket. It's not anything I would ever do any work. This is 100% I'm going to stick a knife in you knife. That's what this is for. That blade shape is very, I'm not gonna lie, it is super thin at the point. That is dangerous, and it will stick right in you. So, well guys, I'm gonna get off of here. If you haven't dropped a like already, yeah, the 85 is a great size knife. If you haven't dropped a like already, I'd appreciate it if you did. I have got things I'm gonna do today. I have a video that will be going up tomorrow for you guys. Yeah, tomorrow, it's a video about tools for the knife hobbyist. Basically, I go through my toolkit, showing you guys what I've got in it and the things that I would recommend having. So yeah, that'll be going up tomorrow. Like I said, if you haven't already dropped a like, I'd appreciate it if you did. But I'm gonna head out of here. I have a video that I'm probably gonna be putting up as bonus content. It's a video that we shot in the shop forever ago, and I just finally got it put up. But yeah, guys, take it easy. If you want exclusive content and stuff, there's a link to the join where you can get on some of those exclusive giveaways. that, like, you guys are getting these, but there's some $250, $300 items. They're going up for the paying members. So, guys, love you all. Take it easy. I'll see you later. There it is. Can't ever find that.